Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you are good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today we have another update for you, and I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
There's an event to honor our veterans, those that were injured during battle. Remember last year the Duke of Sussex visited Nigeria with his wife. Through the Invictus, they have a foundation that they try to raise the morale of troops all over the world that have suffered one form of deformity or the other in the course of defending their individual countries. So we're supposed to be there. And actually, half of my team have already gone, but unfortunately, the Canadian embassy, for knowledge best known to them, denied us visa. So I wasn't sure, and so I wanted to be silent about it. But when we couldn't get the visa, I said, this is blessing in disguise. So I'm really very happy to be here.
Since after he came to admit this visa denial, many Nigerians have been dragging this government up and down. And they have valid reasons for doing that. Especially when Rebadu came with his own statement and reaction.
Thank you for the courage to say that Canada denied you. They can go to hell. Even though it's painful, it's disrespectful, but we are people. We are strong. And I agree with you. We have to fix our country. We have to do it well. Yes, this disrespect is too much. So, yet is another reason why we work hard to make Nigeria work and be respected.
Good. Now Nigerians are telling this government of impunity, especially in reacting to Rebadu, that since he decided to work with the same person he dragged and investigated for corruption at international level scale, what would they expect? That it is time for Nigeria to have its own retrospect, especially among the leaders. And that is the position of many Nigerians. And some of them have also dragged the Nigerian military for being complicit, as they said it, to the insecurity happening in Nigeria.
For everyone, you need to come on board. Bøkøhârâm should lay their arms unconditionally and be accepted in the community. Opportunities are out there for them. They can be rehabilitated. An ex-Bøkøhârâm stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time when he cannot even deliver?
And you expect any country to take Nigeria seriously after hearing that bandits, terrorists, and killers can aspire to be president of this country and even occupy sensitive positions in government, and you expect Canada to give you visa.
And also human rights violation, especially what we are seeing in the southeast. Having said that, let us flip the page on the other side to also dig in deep with what we've been saying all this while. And that is the position of the Chief of Defense Staff with respect to international conspiracy to sponsor and continue destabilizing Nigeria.
Yes. NGOs, there are so many things. If we want to go into NGO issues, there are so many things I had. Initially, when the NGOs came in, when we started, they didn't want any oversight function. They didn't want us to know where they were going to. We had issues with that because now they will go into the enclave of the terrorists and go and treat them. You are treating the same people that is attacking the communities. You tell them no, that you are neutral. How neutral can you be? We've had situations where allegations of arms, them conveying arms to us just to make sure that the war continues. We've had situations where they will tell you they are taking food to communities. Halfway, they tell you the trailer has broken down. By next morning, the trailer is empty. And that vehicle that is broken down, the driver will just go and drive it and take it back. So what had happened? You have funded those guys. You are taking care of them equally. We've had several situations like that. So we said, no, it can't continue like that. And that's why we insisted with the state government that, look, the state government must know what's going on. So if any NGO comes, it must be registered. We must monitor what's going on. We've had situations where NGOs will come in with unidentified individuals entering communities. You don't even know what they're doing. They don't have NGO ID cards. They are not part of the government. Who is taking them to? What are they going there for? And so by the time we start monitoring what they were doing, we noticed things started getting better. So which means something is going on somewhere. Because they come from all over the world and you don't know who is who. So that's why for every country, please regulate what the NGOs are doing, monitor what they're doing. Most times you hear them telling you that they spent $10 million and then you wonder where. Most times the money is spent on themselves, on their luxuries. The hotels they stay, the vehicles they are using and all those things. The locals don't benefit much from them. And yet this thing keeps on. I've told you, somebody will come and pay for a house for 10 years ahead. So what is he trying to tell you? This thing will never end until after 10 years, or maybe he will renew it. And again, I always remember that if there is peace and the threat level is low, one, they are going to retrench them. Two, their hazard allowance will reduce. How many of them will want that? We're not saying all of them are bad. No, some are really doing very well. Some are extremely doing very well. But again, please don't just assume they're just monitor what's going on, monitor what's being spent. I think it's important.
After he said these things, honestly speaking, one can accept that truly there is international conspiracy. If not, why will you deny him visa? Is it because of his position about international community conspiring to destabilize Nigeria? And that has been the standard procedure in Africa, where they hide under NGOs, aid, and assistance to sponsor terrorism. We've seen foreigners supply unknown things to terrorists and bandits in the north with helicopters. We've seen that happen. We've said it time and over that there is no place in Nigeria and Africa where there is high level of insurgents that you will not find serious, strong deposit of solid minerals. They have been cutting away. They hide under these chaos to cut away some of these minerals. In collaboration, because they can't do that alone, with corrupt government officials. And some of them in the military. So, when you look at these things, you will understand where this man is coming from. And some will say, truly, that's why he was denied visa. Could that one also be true? We leave it for you to have your say. What do you think could be the cause of the denial of this visa? Because it seems like visa to Obodo Yibo, Western world, Canada, UK, America, and the rest of them is visa to heaven. Africans. Now, these same people will bring this narrative of heaven give us. So, me, I believe in heaven. But if Oyibo could not allow Africans to come to their own heaven, we need to make our own heaven ourselves. We need to make our homeland the El Dorado, the heaven, the paradise we seek. The only problem we have is bad governance. Because Africa had everything. God mesmerized Africa with both solid minerals and human resources to be at the front line in international affairs. But today, Africa is only doing Babiala, begging for aid, still borrowing from the Western world. We live as slaves in the modern era. And those who are selling Africa to the Western world are the people in power. That's why this message of good governance must continue. That's why we must continue to fight until we get it right with leadership in Africa.